Hey, how you doing? So, the final trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps just came out, and it really looks great. It's the first outing of Marvel's first family within the MCU, and it generally looks well made. Everyone behind this movie has a passion for these characters and their history, and that's showing. It's a passion like that the other movies haven't been able to showcase. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan or anything like that. I've only read their first appearance by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and the book Life Story by Mike Russell and Sean Izaki. Both really good books, by the way. But I can't deny that the history that these characters are left on within Marvel, and not just within Marvel, with pop culture and in comics history, period.
Future Riley here. There's a certain part in this video which I didn't really think of to mention, so I'm going to mention it through here. Whatever I think of the whole Doctor Doom casting, but both Lee and Kirby have made such a fucking history with these characters, as well as their other characters. If either Lee or Kirby were around right now to see this whole production of Fantastic Four First Steps, they would have the biggest smiles on their fucking faces right now.
As someone who hasn't been that attached to the MCU in a long time, I'm more excited for stuff like it's creative-driven movies like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Thunderbolts, and this that are keeping my attention. I just want to go over what we know so far, talk about what I like and I dislike, as someone who doesn't have a full grasp on the Fantastic Four. First thing I like to talk about is the visuals of the movie. I love the 60s vibe they're going for with the Fantastic Four. Combining the Fantastic Four's roots being created in 1961 with 60s Americana, that's like a great idea. This movie takes place in a different universe from the main MCU timeline, so it doesn't have to worry about like justifying the team's existence without being established in the past however long the MCU's been around. There's definitely a lot of Fantastic Four history from what we've seen in these trailers, including Giganto being the Little Caesars commercial. Whether that's in the actual movie itself, that's beyond me. But I'm glad we're seeing the full history of the Fantastic Four without the restrictions of the MCU. Another thing I love is the casting for each of the characters. When the official announcement was made on Valentine's Day with the Fantastic Four themselves, I was on board with a lot of the castings. Most of it. I was a little iffy on Eddie from Stranger Things playing the Human Torch, but I think he really shines in the final trailer. When I was a kid, I always thought the Human Torch was the coolest member of the Fantastic Four. He's my favorite member. And Joseph Quinn playing the MCU rendition of Johnny Storm is exactly how with someone who doesn't have as much knowledge of the Fantastic Four, exactly how I imagined the character. Evan Moss Backrack, while we can't see his face, also looks great as the Thing. Second to Johnny, Ben Grimm has also been my favorite member of the team. As a kid, I thought big guy covered in rocks was like the coolest thing, so I fucked with the Thing. But also like Ben being like a Frankenstein-like character. Ben seeing himself as a freak, meanwhile he's like the strongest member of the Fantastic Four, both physically and emotionally. I also love the running joke of Ben absolutely refusing to say it's clobbering time. It definitely beats, Ben's little witty catchphrase coming from his brother domestically abusing him. Oh god, beats, that's kind of fucked up. And I can't wait to hear Ben say it in the theater. Also, another thing I'm looking forward to is seeing Sue Storm played in this movie by Vanessa Kirby. I have absolutely nothing to say. She's automatically perfect. I'm sold on a lot of the castings, except for Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know that Reed Richards is a deep and very layered character. He's a man of science. Much like his powers, he stretches his mind and expands it to its limit, causes him a big amount of stress, causes him to push his family aside for the sake of saving the world. Great stuff. Really interesting shit. And we definitely see that stress within Pedro Pascal with the arrival of Galactus. When I see Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, I only see Pedro Pascal. Now, that could be we've just been seeing a lot of him lately, but also, admittedly, we haven't seen a lot of Reed Richards within these trailers. I legit think we only see Reed stretched 3 times out of all the trailers. That could just be, an in-theater experience, because I imagine all the Stranger Things were going really crazy. And it's only a matter of me, watching the movie, seeing what I think, no shit. I'm not denying Pedro Pascal's acting ability. From Last of Us to Game of Thrones, he's a fucking incredible actor. I'm sure he'll nail it as Reed Richards. And the next thing, probably the thing I'm most looking forward to see, is Galactus.
I'm here!
He's here!
I found you!
He found me! Oh god, what are my neighbors gonna think? Jesus. The final trailer, everything we've seen surrounding Galactus looks genuinely terrifying. Between the comic accurate look we've been missing from the movies and Ralph Ineson voicing the character, it's gonna be fantastic. And with Ralph S. And with...
Man, your dumbass can't even speak.
Man, fuck you, Galactus! I love the Lovecraftian space horror element they're going with Galactus. I think that's a really cool thing. And that means he's going to be a huge threat, as he should be. A threat to the Fantastic Four, but also a threat to Regan Sue's son, Franklin Richards. I mentioned Franklin before, but he's the most powerful mutant in the Marvel Universe, which makes me believe he is the sole purpose why Shia LaBeouf is the Silver Surfer and Galactus are arriving on Earth in the first place. Now, I've been talking pretty positively about this movie for the most part. Everything from the production to the castings to the little things here and there, I've been on board. But one thing I'm questioning, not really about the movie itself, probably the most important thing about this movie, and probably the rest of the MCU, where the fuck is Doctor Doom? Is just a tough-ass motherfucker. Again, I have to restate this. As someone who does not have a connection to the Fantastic Four as most people, I always thought Doctor Doom was that guy. Like, he literally is the ruler of the country. Like, he is literally a ruler of a country and has, like, the most insane feats in comic history. And with the announcement of Doctor Doom playing the character, it's got people talking. That's all I'll say. Now, if you want my opinion on the casting of RDJ as Doctor Doom, I think the casting is weird and everything surrounding it. Not only does it seem like something, you know, your fucking grandpa would send you from Facebook to talk about Marvel.
Hey, Sonny, look at this! Iron Man is Doctor Doom now, you think?
But RDJ isn't Romanian, who is like, that's like an integral part of Doctor Doom's character. Same thing as Magneto being Jewish. Much like with Pedro Pascal, I'm not going to deny RDJ's acting credit. He's a fucking incredible actor working today. I'm picturing his take on Doctor Doom being like the bad guy he played in Oppenheimer, just with a metal mask or something. But that amount of talent does not tell us what this version of Doctor Doom comes from. And reportedly, he's not going to appear in Fantastic Four First Steps, which I find to be kind of bullshit. Because, like, you think Doctor Doom would appear in the Fantastic Four movie, you know, Doctor Doom's biggest enemy. And his relationship with the Fantastic Four kind of seems like a big question too, because apparently, by the time Avengers Doomsday rolls around, Reed Richards won't even know who Doctor Doom is. That's like making Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader not related, taking a fundamental aspect about what makes that relationship interesting away from them. Whether any of this is true or not, again, we still don't know what this version of Doctor Doom is like, where he come from, or how he's going to be introduced. Admittedly, Thanos didn't have that much of a presence before Infinity War and Endgame, but like, Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are like the last two movies before Avengers Doomsday, and it wouldn't make much sense if Doctor Doom was a bad guy in the Spider-Man movie. So let me present a hypothetical. If Victor Von Doom was introduced in Fantastic Four First Steps, I present this. Thanks to the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, we know that the Fantastic... I'm gonna do the next part on my phone, because my camera keeps being fucking stupid. Presenting the hypothetical, if Doctor Doom was introduced in Fantastic Four First Steps, I present this. Thanks to the post-credits scene of Thunderbolts, we now know that the Fantastic Four's world does not make it at all. But it wouldn't be by the hands of Galactus, but at the hands of someone else. Let me explain. I was gonna make like a whole like screenplay scene and make it all dramatic and stuff, but that would be a lot of work for my editor, so I'm not gonna do that. But like, picture this, right? This will be a post-credit scene after Fantastic Four First Steps. We see on a 60s little news channel, right, that Galactus has been defeated and sent back to the galaxy he came from. Franklin, Johnny, Sue, Reed, and little baby Franklin all triumphing their victory. But suddenly something enters the atmosphere. A giant asteroid comes in, lands in the water underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. But that's not an asteroid. As the storm clears out, it's revealed to be the head of Galactus. And crawling up from the side on the head of Galactus will be RDJ as Doctor Doom, with the power cosmic that he got from Shia LaBeouf. His hands glow a bright white, and suddenly all of reality starts crumbling beneath him. In an effort to escape, all of the Fantastic Four, including Franklin, get on the ship, launch off their dying planet, and go Mach 10 into space. The ship can't handle it, but Reed pushes to its limit, and eventually they appear in another reality. They get an incoming transmission from the Thunderbolts. The Fantastic Four will return. Now, this might not be the perfect introduction for Doctor Doom. It might have just like contradicted everything I've said that I didn't want. But that's my general idea of how I want Doctor Doom be introduced. It shows Doctor Doom being a threat
and sets up Doomsday perfectly. Not really sure where to go from that. I don't know where to go. I didn't make a transition to this. But yeah, what did you think of Fantastic Four First Steps, and how do you think Doctor Doom should be introduced? That's it for this video. Leave a like, comment what you think, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.